Let us work on this why question that says two views of a bracket are shown in first angle below. Draw the auxiliary elevation of the bracket on plane x1, y1. Let me take it again. Two views of a bracket are shown in first angle below. Draw the auxiliary elevation of the bracket on plane x1, y1. Here are the orthographic views. Here we have this as the front elevation and we have this as the plan. And then the plane x1, y1 is shown to us here. So you can see the dimensions as we have it on the drawing. So what we have to do first is to replicate what you see here. You need to replicate what you see here. You need to redraw what you see here, making use of the given dimensions. So how do we draw this? So what we have to do, we are going to start with the construction of this line xy, line xy. So let's see how that can be done. So we come up like this, and then we draw a horizontal line. So we have this horizontal line, and this is going to be the line xy. So this is x, and then here we have y here. Okay, so we have it here. Then the next thing that we are going to, let us start with the construction of the front elevation. That is this shape that we have here. So let us see how we can draw the front elevation. So what we are to do here, so I need to make use of so a set square that is bigger than what I have here. So because of the length that we have on the object, so we are going to draw a vertical line. So at this point here, so we draw a vertical line. So we draw a vertical line up like this. So here we have this vertical line. So we also have to bring it down because of the plan. Okay, so and then we are going to so the total length from here to here, as shown to us here in the plan is 86 millimeters. 86 millimeters. So we take a measurement of 86 millimeters. Okay. All right. So from this point here, so from this point, so we take 86 millimeters forward from this point. So this is 86 millimeters here. So we have this to be 86. So at this point here, I'm going to draw a vertical line. So coming to this point, I will draw a vertical line. At this point here, I'm going to draw a vertical line like this. So here we have this vertical line. So from here down, okay, because of the plan that we are drawing. And then, so the next thing that I'm going to do is that on this line, so as we can see here on the front elevation, so the distance from here to here is 22 millimeters, and from here up is 74. Let us take that distance. So first of all, take 22 millimeters. This is 22 millimeters here, and then we come up here, we take 74 millimeters. So I need to extend this line up a bit. So we have this, okay. Then we have this to be 74 millimeters. So at this point here, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line from here to this side like this, and then we come up here. We also draw a short horizontal line for this part as we have it here. All right, so let's come down here. So we now have it here, okay, that the thickness from here to here is 10 millimeters. So then down here it will be 12 millimeters. That is 12 plus 10. It gives us this 22. So what we are to do now is that, so we come to this point here. So we have to come to this point. So we come to this point here, and we take 10 millimeters down. So this is 10 millimeters here. All right, so then from this point here, so we have that from here to here is 22 millimeters. So we have to come to this point here. So we come to this point, and we take 22 millimeters forward. So this is 22 millimeters here. So here we have 22 millimeters. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line at this point. So we draw a horizontal line to this side here, and then so this point where we have 22, I'm going to draw a vertical line. So from this point to touch this line, so we have this now. All right, so we have worked out this part that we have it here, as you can see it here. So now, so we have to come up, up here. So we also have thickness from here to here is also 10 millimeters. So we come up here, we take 10 millimeters from this point here, take 10 millimeters forward. This is 10 millimeters. Then draw a vertical line down. So draw a vertical line. So down here, so here we draw this vertical line, to touch this line. All right, so looking at what we have here, so what we are left with is this part of the web. So how do we do that? Just connect these 2 points together with a straight line, so which goes like this. So connect these 2 points together. So looking at what we have here, we have completed the front elevation. We have completed the front elevation as we see it here. Look at what we have. Now let's come to the plan. For the plan, so we are told that we'll take a measurement of 10 millimeters down the XY line before we begin to produce the plan. Before we draw this line, we'll take down 10 millimeters down as we have it here. So what we are to do now is to take that 10 millimeters. So you come down from this XY line and take 10 millimeters down. This is 10 millimeters. So you come to this point and draw a horizontal line. So draw horizontal line like this. We have this horizontal line, and then so what is the width of the plan? The width of the plan is also 74 millimeters. So I may need to extend this line a bit down. So we extend this line a little bit down here. So we have what we have, this line. So extend it down here, and then take a measurement of 74 millimeters down. So this is 74 millimeters. So here we have this to be 74 millimeters. So we are going to draw a horizontal line from this point. So we draw a horizontal line from this point to this side, and then we also come to this point here. We extend this this vertical line to touch this line. Okay, so this line at this point here, so we are going to bring it down as we see it here in the plan. So this line that we have here, it goes in line with a line at this point. So we need to bring it down. So we take it down like this. So we take it down like this. Okay, so we have it down here like this. Okay, so this particular line, so we have it down here. Okay, then the line at this point, if you look at the line at this point, is hidden from us. So we also have to show it hidden. So we have to draw it with short dashes line. So how do we do that? So we just make it short dashes line like this. All right, so I'm using red pen for this because the auxiliary elevation that we want to produce. Okay, so that is the plan. Okay, then we now need to put the web. So the web has a thickness of 10 millimeters. Okay, and then we have that from here to here is 32. We have to take 32. So let us take that 32. So from this point here, we take 32 millimeters down. From this point, we take 32 millimeters down. This is 32 millimeters. Okay, this is 32. Then we now take 10. So this is 10. So thickness here is 10. So we now draw the web. So the web goes from this point to this point. So if I've even drawn, okay, so you can see that it touches this point here, it touches this line. So that is the web. So we also come here. So we also draw the line to make the thickness of the web. So we have completed the front elevation, and we have also completed the plan. So now the question says that we should draw the auxiliary elevation on plane x1, y1. So before we can draw the plane, we have to take a measurement of 10 millimeters from this point to this side, because the plane touches this 10 millimeters at this point. So what we have to do is to come up. So we come up here, okay, and then we are going to extend this horizontal line. So we extend it towards this side. So we have it like this, and then we are now going to take a measurement of 10. So from this point, take 10 millimeters here. So this is 10 millimeters. So look at the plane. The plane inclined at an angle 45 degree to the horizontal. As you can see it here, this angle 45 degree. So what we are to do now is that we are going to take the 45 degree set square. So I'm making use of this 45 degree set square. So I'll make use of this. Okay, so then set the set square on the t square like this, bring it to this point. Okay, then draw the plane. So the plane goes like this. So we have the plane goes like this. We have it like this. Okay, so this is going to be the plane x1 y1. So this is plane x1 y1. So this is x1. Okay, so this is x1. So we have x1 here, and then we have y1 here. So make sure it is written. And then so we have to show the angle. So let's show the angle. So just come up and then draw this horizontal line. So write it here so that the angle here is 45 degrees. So we have this now. Okay, all right, so here we have the plane. So what we are going to do right now is that for us to draw the auxiliary elevation, we are going to draw a line on each point that we have on the plan, so which means that we may need to extend this line. So we need to extend this line. So we extend this line to this side. Okay, so then so we are going to draw a line from each point that we have on the plan, and each of the line will be at a right angle to this plane. So, okay, so how do we do that? We have to make use of 45 degrees set square. Since the plane is at angle 45 degree, we also use 45 to produce it, so that the line will be at right angle. The lines will be at right angle to this plane x1, y1. So with my 45 degrees set square, I'm starting. So from this point here, from this point, draw a line in this direction. So draw a line in this direction. So you come to this point here. So every point that we have on this plan, so we are drawing a line from each of them. This line is not okay, so I need to redraw it. Okay, so I need to draw it. I just saw it now. Then we come to this point, we also draw a line in this direction. Okay, so we draw a line in this direction. So then we come to this point, so we draw a line in this direction, and we come to this point here. At this point, so we also draw a line in this direction. So coming to this point, we draw a line like this. So and then so we also have a point here at this point, so draw a line like this. At this point, so draw a line also at this point here, so draw a line like this. So then we have a point here at this particular part, so we draw a line from this point in this direction, and then we come to this point here, so we also draw a line like this. Okay, so at this point also, so we draw a line like this, and then there's a point here, so draw a line here like this. So we are going to extend these lines. So we extend this line, so extend this up, and then okay, so then extend this line. So extend this line, extend this line. So you extend this line. So this line, so we take it. Okay, so these two lines, they fall together on the same. So extend this line up like this, and then so the line at this point, we extend it up like this, and then this line, we extend this line. So and then we also extend this line. So here we extend this line. This line we extend it like this. So this line, so this is just a line, but don't forget that there was an error with this line, so this line goes like this. All right, so with all these lines that we have here, okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is that, so we have to come to this point on the front elevation, so draw a line. So I need to adjust this paper. Okay, so draw a line from this point, draw it out like this, and from this point also, from this point, so draw this line, extend, draw this horizontal line, come to this point also, so extend this horizontal line to this side, so we have this. All right, so then the next thing that we are going to do, we still need to extend this up like this. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to okay, I need to extend this also to this side. Then at this point we are going to draw a vertical line at this point. So we draw a vertical line at this point like this. Okay, so we have this vertical line. Then we are going to number each point that we have here. So I'm going to call this point, I'll call it 0. Okay, this point is point 1, this point is point 2, and this point is 3. So we need to transfer this distance, we need to transfer it here to this auxiliary plane. This is called an auxiliary plane. So with the compass, so we take the distance from 0 to 1, so we bring it to this point here, and then we make an arc on this line. Okay, so then from 0 to 2, so we take this distance, okay, on the elevation, so put the pin here and then make an arc here. So then from 0 to 3, so So we take this distance with the compass to come to this point. Then, so we put the pin here. So put the pin here and then make an arc here. So all these distances, we are going to, so let's just write it here. So this is 0 on the plane, and this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So we transfer the distances, we transfer them to this side with 45 degrees. So we just set like this. Okay, so transfer this to this side. Okay, and then so we transfer this point 2 to this side, and then point 3, so we transfer it. So from this point we transfer it to this side like this. We have this. All right, so now let's work out what we have here. So if I'm looking at the object in this, it means that I'm viewing the object in this direction, the solid. I'm viewing it in this direction. If I'm viewing it in this direction, I'm going to see this shape that we have here. This shape that we have here, we are going to see it on the front elevation. So how can we bring that out? So first of all, I'm going to see a line. There'll be a line under the solid at this point. There'll be a straight line that goes from here to here under the solid. So this line, we have to bring it out. So that's where we are going to start from. We are taking it from what? From the bottom up. Okay. So I'm going to see a line at this point for the solid. Just visualize the isometric view of this object. Okay. So I'm going to see a line from this point to this point, okay, under at this particular point. So let's bring it out. So just follow this line. So this point, we have it here. So on the plane, so if you look at it on the line 0, okay, so here we have what we have this point. So just draw this point here, and then the other point, which is this. So we have what we have this now, okay. So you make this line, make it a thick line from here to here. That is the line that you see under the object at this particular point here. Okay, so we have it here. All right, so okay, so now the next thing that we are going to see at this particular point, we are going to have a vertical line that goes from 0 to 1. So along this point, as we see it here, so if you go up like this, so it goes from what? From 0 to 1. So here we have what? We have the line from this point to this point. So we have it like this. Okay, so we have it here. Also at this point, I will also have a vertical line at this point, okay, at this particular point that is similar to this on this side. So if I come up here at this point, so which we have already gotten this particular point, so we have it here from 0 to 1, so we have it like this. Okay, so let's take note of that. All right, so then I'm going to see this vertical line. So this vertical line is at this point, here, at this point that we have it here. So if you go up here, it goes from 0 up to 3. So if I come up here from here, so it goes up to this point 3. So from here, so make this line a thick line from here up. So it goes like this. All right, then we have what? We have this line connected together, that is from this point to this point. So we need to make this line, make the thick line from here to here on this line. Okay, so we have it here. Then at this point, we have what? We have this line that comes down from this point 3 to this point 2. Okay, so where do we have this point? We have it along this line. So along this line, so you go up like this. Okay, so from 3, it goes what? From 3, it comes down to 2. So just come here and draw this line. So draw this line from here down. So we have what? We have this from here to here. And then so this line that we have up here is here. So we have it here. So make the thick line. And I haven't done that. So then also, so we have what? We have so we have this line. So we have this line that goes from this point to this point here, to this point here, along this point. Okay, so that means what? We have it from this point, we have the line from here to here, and then this line is what? This line is on, so first of all, we have it on 1. So we have it on 1. Okay, so it goes from what? From this point to this point on 1. So let us go and locate this point. So this point is what? This point is here on 1. So we have it here on 1. Okay, so we have it here on 1. And then there is a vertical line at this point that goes from what? From 1 to 2. So which is what? Which is, you come here. So this is the point. Okay, and then the line now goes from this point, it goes to this point here. So it goes to this point here. So that means we have to draw the line. So first of all, make this vertical line. So make it like this. Okay, and then we now draw the line. So draw the line from here to here to touch this line. So we have this now. Okay, so look at what we have here, and then so this line that we have here from this point 1 that goes to this point. So where do we have it? We have it from this point 1, and it goes from there and touches this point. So it goes like this and touches this point. So we have it here like this. Okay, so this is where, okay, so we have it here. It stops here, it stops at this particular point here. All right, so looking at what we have here, so another thing that we are going to see here, we are going to see a rectangle on this face from here to here. So let's go and locate this point. So we have it on 2. So it starts from 1 and it goes up to 2. So here we make this line a thick line from here to here. And then so the rectangle, so it goes from what? It goes from here to here. So where do we have this point? We have it here. We have already gotten that. So you make this line a thick line from here to here on 2. And then you also do the same thing on 1 from here to here. So we have what? We have this. Okay. All right. So then we now have this word, this particular verb. Okay. So for the verb, so there it has a top part. The top part is from here to here. So let's go and locate the top part. So the top part is here for this point here. Okay, for this particular point, and also the top part for the particular point. So we have it. We have it here, and then the down part for this particular point along this line. So we have it. What we have it here at this point. It will stand on it like this on 2, and then the second part is here on this particular point. We have it here. So the one that we have from here to here, so is that we are joining this point and this point together. So let us join the point together. So we join this point together like this. So it goes like this, okay? And then so the one that we have on this side, so we have it, so this join together from this point to this point here like this, okay? All right, so other thing that we have here are this particular point that we have here. So I'm going to, at this particular point that we have here, so I'm going to see a line, though that part of the line will be hidden from me. It will be hidden. By the time I'm standing here looking at it, so it will be hidden. So at this particular point here, okay. So, and, okay, so, so at this particular point, it will be hidden. Okay, no, not this point, it is this point, this particular point, not this point, this one is under. So this particular point, it will be hidden from me when I'm looking at, because the web blocks part of it here. So if you come up here like this on this line from this point, so I'm going to draw a line, and this will be short dashes line from here down, from here to this point, and then the rest will now be made with thick line. Okay, so it is thick. Okay, so this will now be made with a thick line like this from here to here. Okay, then there's a line at the top here, so which I'm going to see up. Okay, and to go from this point to this point, so just make this line, so make it a thick line from here to here. So we have this as a thick line from here to here. So we have this. All right, so then so at this particular point we have a line similar to this line at this particular point, but that line will be hidden from me, so we have to show it here. So you just come up here from 0, it goes up to 3, so we make it short dashes line because it is hidden from us. So we draw like this, so you draw it as short dashes line, so it goes up like this. So all right, so this is it. So here we have the auxiliary elevation of these views. So as simple as I've done it here, all you have to do is to practice. Thank you and God bless you.